The NASCAR playoffs have officially begun, and it appears like we are in for a major surprise at the outset. Logano won in Atlanta and advanced to the next round. Bowman is 27 points above the cut. Martin Truex Jr. is 19 points below the cut. And most surprisingly, Kyle Larson, the self-proclaimed world's finest racing driver, is just 15 points above the cut. Could we be in for some surprise departures in the first round of the playoffs? The race at Atlanta Motor Speedway finished in a two-lap overtime scramble between Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano of Penske Racing and Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez of Trackhouse. The Trackhouse drivers rapidly split up, allowing Logano to win for the 34th time in his career and the second of the season. But we're going to focus on the terrible news for Kyle Larson first, which came much earlier in the race. The bad news is that he is only 10th in the standings after the first playoff round. Larson entered the playoffs as the top seed, and he'll need all of those extra points following a horrific early departure at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson was battling for the lead in a clean opening run at Atlanta when, on lap 56 while running third, the back of the car began to lose traction. Larson overcorrected and smashed into the outside wall, damaging the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. "I'm okay," said a dejected Larson after being released from the infield care center. Thankfully, everything held up well inside the car. That was a huge hit, not really sure what caused it. I was actually sort of tight, loaded in the corner, and I was pretty far around the corner when it just stepped out. I don't know, it just all happened really fast. Larson skidded down the track out of control after striking the wall, but the majority of the field was able to avoid him. Well, except for playoff driver Chase Briscoe, who had landed his playoff spot just last week with a win at the Southern 500. Briscoe collided with Larson's back end, destroying the front of his own racing car. Both drivers were swiftly removed from the race. Briscoe reported that his groin felt a little, but was generally okay. "Saw the 5 Larson kind of just sitting there," he explained. "I was trying to slow down, trying to get left, and as I was trying to slow down and turn left, kind of inching my way closer and closer to the yellow line, just couldn't get low quick enough and KO'd him. Unfortunate for sure. Now it puts us in a must-win situation. Was in a must-win situation last week too." Larson started this race with 30 bonus points, which will help mitigate the impact of his DNF. However, Briscoe had just 5. Larson finished 37th and Briscoe 38th with no stage points, giving them almost nothing to show for this weekend's race. Larson finished barely 15 points above of the cutoff, while Briscoe is now 20 points below it. Larson's driving pedigree suggests he will come back next week at Watkins Glen. Chase Briscoe's postseason prospects appear increasingly bleaker, as he has been put in a must-win position. What do you think? Is it over for one of these two drivers, or will they still both advance to the next round? Moving back to the winner of the race, Joey Logano, who was undoubtedly very happy with the win. "Incredible execution from the team," said Logano, who now has 2 Cup wins at Atlanta. "When it's playoff time, it's our time. As I said, we got to always get the level up when it comes playoff time. They gave me a great Mustang. She was fast all day, got stuck in the back a little bit. It was hard to get track position back, had a good restart and got towards the front. Had my teammate Blaney behind me. That really helped out in the last lap to be able to make sure a Penske car won, ultimately move on to the next round. Good day for all the Penske cars. Got a lot of stage points as well." Logano spent 6 years living in a penthouse overlooking the circuit, stating, "Spent a lot of time looking at this racetrack, dreaming about going down into turn 1. Joey Logano stated that his second win of the season earned him a spot in the round of 12. It was one late call to his crew chief that resulted to the victory. So what exactly was Joey Logano's secret call? It wouldn't be a secret if we all knew, right? During his post-race news conference, the Team Penske driver kept his cards close to his breast. Logano was heard on the radio informing his crew leader that he intended to stick with the strategy they discussed on the bus. Whatever the strategy was, we will never know. "I can't tell you," smiling. "I'm not going to tell you. Nothing against you, I just wouldn't tell anybody," Logano said, having fun with the media. "Like I said, we go over a lot of stuff together. We prep a lot together, separately and together sometimes. Speedway racing these days, it's just so interesting. Every track is a little bit different. Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, all kind of a breed of their own. When you have fast cars like we do right now on these speedways, it's important for us capitalize as a team. These are our bread and butter right now. We've proven that really over the last year plus, that this is our type of racetrack. To be able to make sure that a Penske car wins is very important for our organization right now. Joey Logano had everything he needed on the final restarts with Ryan Blaney behind him to secure the victory for his team, Team Penske. At some time today, each of the Penske cars led a lap. Logano won, Ryan Blaney was third, and Cindric finished 10th. That's a good day for everyone concerned. Blaney got the most points on the day, while Logano finished third and Cindric fourth overall in points due to excellent stage finishes. Joey Logano is the first playoff driver in the round of 12. Watkins Glen and Bristol are next on the schedule to wrap off the round of 16. This is already an improvement over where he was in 2023. In the previous 2 years, Penske has discovered an additional gear in the playoffs. Logano in 2022, Blaney in 2023. Is it time for Logano to win his third Cup Series title in 7 seasons? He completed it in 2018 and 2022. 2024 is off to a strong start. Team Penske has a solid chance of taking all 3 cars to the next round. That would be significant for this group. It is really beneficial to have friends in the sector. So, are we about to see a Penske three-peat? For Suarez, however, who won in Atlanta earlier this year, it was a bummer as he just missed out on the sweep. "I was pretty confident that the top was going to be better," he said post-race. "We got a great launch, but we just got disconnected too early, and that obviously hurt us. It's little painful. I feel like we were in position. Sometimes, it's very difficult to predict who is going to get the best push and for how long they're going to get it, but we're in contention." Kyle Larson, the race's championship frontrunner and top seed, wrecked early in the race after losing control only a few laps from the finish line in Stage 1. Chase Briscoe was also collected, thus ending his run. Beyond that, the first 2 stages were rather clean, with Ryan Blaney winning Stage 1 and Austin Cindric winning Stage 2. Fuel seemed to be running low for the leaders at the finish of the race, but a caution with 56 laps to go offered a much-needed boost. Chris Buescher accelerated up the track and collided with Ryan Blaney. Blaney skidded and went down the track, hitting with Martin Truex Jr., leaving both playoff drivers with substantial damage. Ty Gibbs took command of the race, looking to capture his first career Cup victory, but a caution for debris, a Walmart banner on the front stretch, caused another yellow with 10 laps remaining. The last laps turned into a head-to-head battle between Penske and Trackhouse, but Noah Gragson's collision sent the race into overtime. Logano selected the bottom and Suarez the top. They were even for a while until the Trackhouse drivers were disconnected at turn 3. On the penultimate lap, Suarez had no chance against the Penske duo, while Chastain was blocked by Chase Elliott, resulting in a race-ending accident. Logano took the checkered flag, with Suarez finishing second and Blaney third owing to the timing of the yellow. Christopher Bell finished fourth, followed by Alex Bowman in fifth. Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Austin Cindric complete the top 10. Leaving Atlanta, the following drivers are behind the cut line: Brad Keselowski, -1 point, Harrison Burton, -16 points, Martin Truex Jr., -19 points, and Chase Briscoe, -21 points. Ty Gibbs, +1, and Denny Hamlin, +2, are slightly above. Who will make the final 12? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.